The push to constitute a new independent electoral and boundaries commission has once again run into legal headwinds after a petition challenging the appointment of Professor Adams Law to the selection panel was filed in court. In the petition, city lawyer Apollo Mboya cites conflict of interest on Professor Olo's part due to his role as a presidential advisor. With the application deadline for IEBC chairperson and commissioners fast approaching, Mboya is now asking the High Court to urgently intervene and restore credibility to the selection process. And TV's Ibrahim Karanja begins our coverage tonight with a new legal hurdle in the reconstitution of the electoral body.
The IEBC selection panel is now staring at an unfolding legal challenge that questions the integrity of the process to appoint new commissioners to the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission. At the heart of the standoff is lawyer Apollo Mboya, who contends that there is a conflict of interest in the appointment of Professor Adams Olo to the IEBC selection panel. Mboya, who has listed the Parliamentary Service Commission, Professor Olo and the Attorney General as respondents and all the other members of the panel as interested parties, claims that Olo is serving as a presidential advisor in the office of the president, a dual role that compromises the independence of the selection process. Thus, Olo, who was ODM speak for the job, could not faithfully, impartially and in good conscience be an independent representative of the Parliamentary Service Commission and an independent advisor to the presidency at the same time. The second respondent's position in the panel presented a brazen conflict of interest and was an affront to the principle of separation of powers and representation that was intended by the IEBC Act, says Mboya. He argues that the overlap renders the need for sectoral representation in the selection panel pointless and that the presidency or executive could then simply appoint all members of the selection panel, wanting the court to handle the matter as a matter of urgency, saying that the selection panel has already invited applications for those keen on serving as chairperson and commissioners of the IEBC, with the deadline of the call being the 15th of February. Mboya says that the call for applications expires on the 15th of February 2025 and this issue could and should be addressed by the court well before then to restore some credibility to this hallowed process. He further wants the court to issue conservatory orders restraining Olo from holding himself out as a member of the IEBC selection panel, stating that all decisions made by the panel while Professor Olo was a member should be declared null and void. Justice Chacha Mwita has directed that pleadings be served and responses filed by both petitioner and the respondents, with further directions set to be issued on the 18th of February. The ensuing legal battle follows concerns raised a fortnight ago by Wiper leader Kalonzo Musyoka and ODM Secretary General Edwin Sifuna, who were skeptical about Olo's involvement. And after more than 2 years of lacking an electoral and boundaries commission, this new development may make the waiting period even longer.
To remove you from office. Are those claims true?
Ibrahim Karanja, NTV.